and author of Pathways to Pregnancy. You're a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner and acupuncturist, founder of Alive Holistic Health, and your life and fertility coach. Welcome to my live post number 92. And tonight we are going to be talking about stress and fertility, meaning, really, does stress impact fertility? Well, coming from a Chinese medicine perspective, we never like to answer questions with one answer. And so the long and the short of it is that it's yes and no. And what do I mean by that? Well, no, it does not cause infertility. However, stress can impact how you optimize your fertility. So, and I've had other posts before, but I love to reignite this topic over and over again because every day at the clinic, I deal with stress. People come in totally stressed out. And one of my jobs is to transform that stress. And not just, the usual casual way that people think about, which is, oh, just go and meditate, or, oh, just go and do yoga. It's, and I'm not going to speak a huge amount to how to transform your stress, because the deep dive is going to be actually on Sunday, this Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we'll really go in depth about the mechanisms of stress and what the stresses are in your life and tactical solutions into how to transform your stress so that not only are you surviving it, but you can actually thrive. Okay, so that's the deal. But tonight, we're going to give you a quick glimpse. And first, what is stress, right? So stress, if we're looking at a definition, it's our perspective. So when we look at an actual definition, you can Google this. This is very easy. But one of the things we know, it's a psychological perception of pressure. And then coupled with that, it's a body's response to that pressure. And another way to look at it is it's an emotional experience accompanied by biochemical, physiological, and behavioral changes. So, and if we look at perception of pressure, just imagine, well, you don't have to imagine because you live it. There is a hell of a lot of pressure from yourself, from your partner if you have one, from your society, from your workplace. Everywhere you look, people are looking at like a stereotypical existence, meaning you get to a certain age. If you are in a couple situation, there's the automatic question is, when are you going to have kids? What are you waiting for? Right? So there's a pressure that way from societal norms. Society has it that we grow up, get married, have kids, they have kids, you become grandparents, and then you die. So that's a lot of pressure. And listen, we know not everybody follows that route, and that's okay. But when you live it, and when people say things to you, you'll hear that one-liner and then everything else is gone, right? So there's stress of the societal pressure of conceiving, and then that enhances your personal pressure of having kids. I apologize, by the way, if you can hear my neighbors behind me, but I'm in my sunroom and it is like 102 degrees in here. So, I tell people, oh, don't do hot yoga. I'm like in a room, like a hot yoga room right now. So thankfully, I'm not trying to conceive anymore. But you guys don't do that. And by the way, I don't want those of you who love hot yoga to totally panic and freak out and say, oh, crap, I can't do hot yoga. Because here's the deal. I'm going off tangent, but that's the way life is. People stress out, right? About what's the right thing to do. What shouldn't I do? I got to do it right. So when it comes to yoga, typically we say don't do hot yoga because when you sweat, it's like we're losing some essence. That's how we see it in Chinese medicine. However, I do realize and I do see some women that have this exuberant amount of energy where they just need to have that stress release. So for sure, I still would say don't do it while in your waiting period of trying to conceive. But if you're in the, I'm not in an IVF cycle, I'm not taking any drugs in this cycle, then maybe it's okay to do it once or twice a week if you are that person that regularly does it. If you never do hot yoga, don't start now. Okay? Do your regular yoga. And if you don't like yoga, don't do it. Just because every blog out there, when it comes to stress and fertility, say you should do some fertility yoga, that doesn't mean you have to do that because not everybody is aligned with that. And I know for some, it's like, oh my gosh, it's the worst nightmare and it causes more stress. So the point is we want to decrease your stress, not increase it. So if yoga is not it for you, then so be it. And we'll find other things that you can do to de-stress. Okay, so it doesn't have to be yoga. Another common one that people talk about is mindfulness. So meditation. So again, mindfulness meditation, not everybody loves to do the sit down yoga. And I've said this in the past and I'll say it again. If you're the person that cringes by and gets stressed out by sitting down for too long, then if you can manage 1 minute, awesome. Start there. And otherwise, you can do what I call walking meditation or eating meditation or brushing your teeth meditation, because meditation is really about being engaged in the present moment so that you're out of your head. Because again, what is stress? It's perceived pressure. So that means perception is through thought. So we got to get you out of your thought process. And I don't want you to stress about being stressed about needing to get rid of your thoughts. Because the truth is, we can't ever fully get rid of our thoughts. That's why people practice meditation every day. That's why Buddhist monks practice meditation hours a day, because to be human is to think. All right? So don't think that we have to completely be awesome at it. And for those perfectionists out there, when you look and take down notes, don't do anything with the aim to be perfect at it. All right? Okay. So, what else impacts our stress? Well, so I talked about the societal norms, our self-pressure, but the actual stresses of the environment. And I've had other posts around that, so you can check that out. So environmental stressors, which includes things that are in our environment that we can avoid. So that's a good thing. Certain things we can avoid. And then in food, that has been talked about multiple times as well. So you can check that out. This is all just informational stuff. And like I said, on Sunday, we're going to go crazy into a deep dive about your mindset and perspective. And that one is an experience. So reading about is not going to do it. You need to be here and experience it. And I'll actually add in some acupressure points so that you can self-administer, which is awesome. And what else was I going to do? Anyway, I'll keep you in suspense. It's going to be awesome. And by the way, I've done 2 live monthly fertility circles, and this will be my 3rd one. And I'm so excited about it because the other 2, I don't know if I said it last week already, but I had a lady who was a patient and she was joining it just because she wanted to support me in my quest to make a difference for those that cannot ever do acupuncture or live remotely and will never be able to see me. And but so she thought she would support me, and she didn't think that she would get anything out of it because she gets to see me live once a week. But what she didn't realize was I see her once a week and it's for acupuncture, so we can only talk so much. So when she saw me the next time, she's like, how come I didn't know that? Why didn't you talk about that? I was like, well, we only have an hour every time I see you. So That's why I created this as well. So you'll always get something out of it. And what was very cool was that, oh my gosh, I got so much out of it. I was taking notes. That was unexpected. And she watched something twice. And she's sharing it with others. So, and with her husband. So how awesome is that? Okay. So please join me next time. Not next time. On Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sounds like a long time, but it goes like that because it's intense. It's awesome. You'll get invigorated, inspired, and you'll want to take notes. So there. Okay. So last thing, we talked about food, environment that induces stress. We talk about some things are self-created, right? Stress around us that we can't control, like actual fertility stuff itself, like going through treatment, but that's a choice too. Stress of the monetary aspect, stress of taking drugs. And I'm going to add in something that's a little fun and funny. When people take drugs, fertility drugs, sometimes you have no idea what you're going to get into, right? Like you have no clue what you're taking, meaning how your body's going to respond to it. And oftentimes there is a reaction. Not everybody, but some. So again, in fact, the same woman, she was put on a drug called Lupron to kind of down-regulate her body so that her body will be able to receive an embryo, a frozen embryo, after an IVF transfer where there's a frozen embryo. Point is, so she's on this drug that suppresses her system to make you quiet. So one of the symptoms that people learn about is menopausal type symptoms, right? Because you're hyperspace, everything's controlled and everything's shut down. And so she's expecting menopause symptoms. So she comes in, she's like, holy crap, I'm not getting symptoms. So what does that mean? Maybe it's not working. So it's amazing. Something happens, or in this case, doesn't happen. And we have this perspective that, and it causes us stress. It raises fear, worry, frustration, and whatever else there is, right? And so it's like, wow, what do we do to calm those fears, calm those crazy thoughts that we could always automatically jump the gun on? And so we'll do a deep dive on that on Sunday, but it's fascinating, right? And so the other thing I was going to tell you then is just know that sometimes you don't get symptoms and it's still working. And for those that take, for example, estrase, which is an estrogen hormone, and sometimes people take it for the during IVF stimulation. They take it often at the time of down-regulating for their frozen embryo transfer. And why am I talking about this? Because a lot of times, they have different versions of it, right? So you have this little blue pill called estrase, and you take it orally, or you can use it as a suppository, meaning vaginally. And so, which freaks people out. So for those of you who've ever done that, this actually causes stress because nobody tells you that when you insert it vaginally, it's going to come back out and your panties are going to be blue. And it freaks you out because it's like, am I an alien? Have I become an alien? Like, what the heck is going on here? So that causes stress. So imagine like every little thing, right? We're just basically energy or stress building machines. So it's a matter of shifting gears and learning to de-stress even over things that we can't control. Because if you're doing cycles with the fertility clinic, then you're just subject to whatever they're going to give you. So you just have to surrender to the process. And when you surrender to the process, sometimes you have no idea what the heck you're getting yourself into. And I would actually say you don't know what you're getting into, because I find, and unless you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but anyone I've encountered, they don't get enough goods as to what's happening. Again, there's background chatter behind me. I apologize, but I don't want to die in heat. So here we are. I think that is it for now. So please join me Sunday. It'll be awesome, awesome, awesome. And when you come in, you could join me at marywong.life. Look up the coaching upper corner. You click on that, and then you click on coaching for the fertility monthly live fertility circle. It'll be so cool. You'll love it. And in the meantime, if you don't have my book already, please go ahead and read Pathways to Pregnancy. Sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, I don't want to read anything else. But if you're going to read something like that, because it's much more hopeful and inspiring and factual and grounded advice that's based on research, my professional experience and my personal experience, and the integration with Western medicine that I've done. And by the way, before I close off for this evening, I have to tell you that I was very sad, but not so discouraged that I'm going to fall apart and be defeated. Some of you know that I had made a proposal to create a complementary and integrative medicine special interest group within the Canadian Fertility and Andrology Society. This is like really long, right? So the point is, basically all the fertility clinics, all the doctors, they belong to this association nationally. I go there with people backing me up, a community of people backing me up, creating this live webinar for this group nationally with the help of my dear friend, Dr. Paul Magarelli, who I will be interviewing in a couple of weeks about low-cost quality IVF. And anyway, we did this webinar for these docs to say, hey, you should look at this and people should have access and we should support it and have integrative medicine. And so I thought I did a good job. We did a good job. Doc and me, we did great. And it turns out, and that was back in, I said March or April. And I just got a letter on Canada Day to decline the proposal, saying that there's not enough evidence about acupuncture, which is such a shame, because anyone who has done this work knows the impact it has in your life, the impact in terms of support while you go through your fertility journey. So to me, I'm not going to lie, I felt a little defeated when I first read it. But then afterwards, it kind of like put that fire in my belly more to say, oh my gosh, I need a community of people around me, which includes you guys, to say, hey, we need integrative medicine because what we go through is hellish, right? Who's kidding who? Fertility is difficult. So we're not going to stop. We're going to charge on. We're going to try to make it happen. But I need your help. So I'd love people to voice their opinions. You know, integrative medicine is not just acupuncture, but we had to start somewhere, and that's what they understood. But when it comes to like even herbal medicine or supplements, even that's considered integrative medicine. And listen, lots of clinics already prescribe it. And some clinics even have acupuncturists on site. So what the heck are they doing? So be part of my team. Let's support this integrative medicine, at least have access, right? Because that's what it's all about. It's people's choice. So help me on that one, and I shall see you on Sunday. And next Wednesday, I'll be doing an interview with somebody. I don't remember who, because I have a whole lineup for the next little while of awesome interviewees. So talk to you guys later. Have a great night, and I'll see you Sunday. marywong.life. Sign up now so that you can get access to 2 of my pre-recorded live monthlies already for May and June. It's going to be freaking awesome. So that's 4 hours worth already. And if you sign up for the Sunday one, I believe it's $29, and you can do a bundle pack for the next 3. Okay. So I'll see you guys. Mwah. Have a great night.